Hey guys, so I know the title of this video might be like a little weird, maybe even triggering, I hope not, but it is, what is the anorexic diet? So I noticed that a lot of you might, and I think I used to do something similar to this, but a lot of people, like, they want to be anorexic, want to lose a lot of weight, so they, go and what anorexics eat. They might use Google to see documentaries, movies, what other people, and see, like, what do anorexics eat. So I wanted to make a video telling you guys what anorexics eat. But there is like I don't know how to call it, but there's kind of a problem because there is no one diet that anorexics follow. Just as diets in general and just as eating lifestyles in general, nobody follows the same exact thing. I mean, you can try to follow the same program or whatever, but it's still going to differ. People still change it and adapt it to themselves and have something special in their diet because they don't like this or because of this. And of course, yeah, you could do like an exact same thing, like if you go to school and in the cafeteria they would give you the exact same thing. I mean, you can forcefully do it, but like naturally, most people, like, they'll eat, somebody eats a little less. No one eats the same exact way, if that makes sense. Especially not naturally. Like if you just give everyone freedom, no one's gonna eat the same way, if that makes sense. Yeah, there might be like some similarities, but no one eats the same way. So, what's the anorexic diet? To be honest, there's no one diet. And honestly, that's not what makes you anorexic. If you eat 300 calories or 800 calories, you could be 1,500 calories and be a normal person that eats that much naturally without counting calories, and you could be an anorexic who eats the same amount, but your mentality is different because you're counting the calories, you're restricting. You might need 2,000, 2,500, but you're eating 1,500, and that's already like a starvation diet, and you already messed up here. You're counting calories, restricting. You want more, but you're not letting yourself, but you're eating 1,500 calories, and this person's eating 5,000 calories. Both people are eating, but there's a big difference because this person is sick mentally, with anorexia, and they're eating 1,500 calories, but they want more, and this person is eating 1,500 calories because that's how they naturally eat, and they're not restricting, but that's how much they need, and they feel good, and all this. So there's no like amount of number or like, a set or amount or the type of food. No, you could be an anorexic eating just fruits and vegetables, and you can be an anorexic eating brownies and cakes. But if you're restricting, if you're still hungry, if you're having that control, it, like I said, it's up here. It's not the food you're eating, it's not the diet you're following, it's not the amount of calories you're having, and all this stuff. And usually, of course, if you're eating like way too many calories, that's not what I mean. But I mean is if you're restricting, or like you want more food but you're not letting yourself because you're trying to lose weight. So there's a lot of things. It's a bit confusing, and I hope this makes sense because I feel like I might be a little bit confusing in this video. The main point of this video is just to say that there's no one thing. So don't try to go and find, because I know I did have a video on my channel describing what I ate as an anorexic, and it's kind of a mess because some people say it's triggering. Why did I even post that? Some people say it's good that I posted because it's like, oh, I just realized I have anorexic because I do the similar thing. So I don't know if I should leave it, if I should take it down. I think I should leave it because it's part of my history. I did put a trigger warning. I don't know. I might be wrong. I'm sorry. But I'm just trying to help, and I just want you guys to know that even if you guys go and see that video, if you follow that diet or whatever, that, like, it won't be the same. Everybody adapts to themselves. And like I said, you could be an anorexic eating 1,000 calories or an anorexic eating 100 calories. There's no, like, everyone's different. It's just the control and the weight and all this that makes you anorexic, I guess. Not even the weight, but like the control and the mindset you have towards food and weight that that makes you anorexic. Because you could be an anorexic eating 1,000 calories but doing a ton of exercise, and you could be an anorexic eating 300 calories but not doing any exercise, and the two might be losing the same amount of weight in the same amount of time. But it's like, it's so different. But yeah, because you have different activity levels, different genders, different weight and height, different history background, different metabolisms. There's so many different things that people just adapt and make it towards themselves. With my eating disorder, me personally, I've always been, whenever I'm in like restricting mode, I have a lot of fruits and vegetables because I like to have more volume, and I don't like feeling like so hungry. So for example, for me, I would like to eat a lot of food but just low calories. Some other anorexic might want, or you might not want to call them anorexic, but a person with an eating disorder, because I do binge and stuff, so it's just an eating disorder in general. I can't sometimes describe it, but it's just the way it is. So there's so many, and I hope this doesn't trigger anyone. Like, I'm trying to say this in a most, like, just informative way, I guess, because some people think anorexics don't eat at all, which is not true as well. I mean, they could like fast for a certain amount of time, but eventually they'll probably have something or they'll die. But which I made a video previously about that. But the main point of this video is that there's no one diet. There's a lot of different things, and people just adapt, and they're like, oh, okay, so this is working, I'm losing weight, okay, I'm just gonna keep it at here. And then they might decrease their calories and usually it decreases if you're anorexic. Maybe it increases. Like I said, as long as they're feeling the control and they're losing weight and they, it's all here, then there's no rule for it. They might start out with 300 and then add 400 and 500 calories, but as long as they're keeping their body and they're so in control, that's what really makes it a problem. So there's no, like, you could look up and stuff, ideas, and like what other people do and just do that, but to be honest, there's no like one rule. You're still gonna do it differently. Like, you could look up videos and books and articles about it, but you're still gonna do it differently, if that makes sense. Like, there's been anorexics who eat like 1,000 calories and some who eat 100 calories. That's a big difference. For me personally, if I try to like, oh, I'm gonna try to do the most extreme and 100 calories, I'll end up binging. So I try to do it. So I would do it slowly, like I would start off with 1,000 and slowly decrease it, because you need to get used to decreasing it and stuff like that. Like, I'm not giving tips, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of different, some anorexics might go right away. They're like, that's it, like, full on mode and full, like, some do it slowly. Like, like I said, I don't like saying anorexics, maybe more like people that struggle with eating disorders. So, some might, and some might do binge once a week and then fast the whole week, binge another week and then fast 2. Like I said, there's no one rule. There's so many different things that it's kind of like, there's no, like, it's like, as long as it's a problem in here, and not like it's not like, oh, if you eat this many calories then you're anorexic, or if you're at this weight then you're anorexic, or if you follow this diet then you are anorexic. No, you could be vegan, you could be paleo, you could be at any weight, you could eat 500 calories, 1,000 calories, 2,000 calories. But if you're restricting, if you're so focused on food, if you're overtraining, over exercise, you might be eating a normal amount of calories, but over exercising, and that still can count into an eating disorder if you were, like, still really, like, focused on food and weight and all this. So, like I said, it's not about, there's no anorexic diet that you can follow or, like, look up or try to do to lose a bunch of weight. It's the mentality. If you hate your body, if you try to control your food, that's what kind of gives you the eating disorder problems. It's not, there's no one thing. So, and I don't know if that is upsetting or if that's like something, a good thing. I don't know. It's just something that I realized because I did a lot of research, and I'm like, you know what, I noticed that yes, there's a lot of like, we all share similar things, like, oh, we, you know, like there's people that have like similar, you know, like, oh yeah, I eat 1,000 calories too, but no, like still there's still a difference, as well as time of food of eating, or how the amount of times you eat per day, the time of day you eat, like there's so different. Like I eat at night one huge meal, but I am restricting. Does that make sense? So it's like you might be eating 6 meals a day, not eating after 6 o'clock, you know, and that might be your thing. But like I said, that doesn't mean like, oh yeah, this person's not anorexic because they eat at night, you know, like, and they eat a big meal, and this person is because they're eating very little. No, 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 no. You can be eating a huge meal, but if you're only eating one meal in a day, and it's very low calories, then you know you're gonna lose weight. And if you're eating maybe one meal, but it's like burgers and fries and a soda, but you're not eating the next 2 days, you know, do you see, like, you can't say like, oh yeah, that's anorexia or that's not anorexia. You can't judge, because it's kind of like, it's not what, and that person might be eating like that naturally. So like I said, from a other people's point of view, like, you can't tell for sure, because some people might say, you know, like, oh, they're skinny, they're not eating that much, they're anorexic, but they might not even be anorexic, and then this person's overweight or a healthy weight, and they're like, you know, oh, look how big, they had a big meal. They can't be anorexic, but you don't know what they do afterwards. Maybe they purge the meal, maybe they restrict days afterwards, feeling guilty after that meal, and try to control their weight. So that person would be anorexic or have an eating disorder problem, because they might purge. You know, there's so many, like, there's no one rule for eating disorders. There's no one like way. You can't put a label on someone just based on their weight, their eating habits, or all this. It's only in here. So and it's hard to tell, because often, like, you know, you can't get into someone's brain and see what they're thinking, you know. Obviously there's things that you can notice in signs of anorexia, like, you know, quick weight loss, losing hair, feeling cold all the time. That's kind of more signs you can see for anorexia. But with other eating disorders, even, it's kind of hard to see, because you don't see what's in here, and you're just like, well, they're eating, but you don't know that they're purging and they're restricting, and then they're falling in and out of it again. So it's hard to see. So there's no one rule for eating disorders. There's no diet for anorexia. There's no like one thing that makes you have an eating disorder or what makes you anorexic. And I think I made a video actually, what makes you anorexic, and I said the similar thing, but this is just kind of like also an updated version. I don't know, hopefully it's not saying the same thing, but I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys can relate, and I don't know if this will be informative, educational. I hope it is. And I don't know if you guys will enjoy or not, but I hope you do, and have a great day. If you guys are struggling with an eating disorder, it's good to reach out to help. You could try to DM me and email, and I try to answer all of you. I love helping you and supporting you, and just sometimes you just need someone to talk to, and feel free to email me or DM me. I would love to talk to y'all. And yeah, that's it. And please, guys, keep fighting. It's hard. I know. I'm going through this. I went through this. I go through this. But you guys can do it. You guys are strong. I believe in you. And bye.